Welcome to Salisbury University on the Air, a program highlighting the activities and the people of the campus. My name is Susan Purnell. For nearly 9 decades, Salisbury University has been a part of the fabric of the Delmarva community. With the President's Distinguished Community Leadership Awards, it celebrates other organizations and individuals who have helped make the Eastern Shore a better place to live. Here to tell us about the program is Robbie Sheehan, Chair of SU's Town Gown Council. Welcome, Robbie.
Thank you so much for having me, Susan.
So good to have you
Thank
here.
you.
You know, community service has long been a part of our Eastern Shore tradition, and
Absolutely.
as well as a pillar of an SU education.
Yes.
Can you tell me, how is the university honoring those who are serving their community?
Sure. So a number of years ago, we established the President's Distinguished Community Leadership Award that's facilitated by Salisbury University's Town Gown Council. And it's really an opportunity for us to honor those individuals and organizations. We have 2 different categories in the community who are making a difference in the lives of those who live in our community. And so we've been giving the award for a number of years and have really enjoyed being able to give credit and honor where it's due within this community.
You mentioned 2 categories. What are they?
Individuals and then community organizations. So we have 2 different awards. One that we give every year for an individual that we believe is making a difference, and then one for an organization in the community that we believe is also making a difference.
And who have some of the past winners been?
So in the individual category, we've had Debbie Abbott, who I believe were involved in that nomination process.
I did help in that nomination process.
And then we've also honored Marty Neat. Last year, Lee Whaley, who worked for former Congressman and Senator Paul Sarbanes. And in the organization category, we've had the Chamber of Commerce, we've had the Habitat for Humanity, United Way, Women Helping Women, Women Supporting Women, and so it's been great.
Gosh, I mean, all of them are so deserving.
Absolutely.
What qualities do you look for?
Really, any individual organization that just is an example that we want our students to emulate. This is a great award for us to give back to the community, to be able to recognize those individuals that are making a difference. But we give this award at our spring commencement, and it's a great dynamic to be able to showcase these examples of leadership and civic behavior to our students as we send them out post-graduation into society, to say it's important, it's a hallmark of a Salisbury University education that you give back to your community. So we really enjoy doing that, and these people are involved in everything. These individuals that we've given awards to, I mean, literally they go to every single community meeting.
It's true.
They give their...
I was just with Lee Whaley last night.
She's everywhere.
She
it's crazy.
is. She's on the Arts and Entertainment
Absolutely.
Committee, and she was asking them to expand the geographic locations into the new River's Edge. So she was down at the City Council last night.
That's what we're looking for. Lee went above and beyond. It was her job for many years to be involved in the community, but she did so much above and beyond. And even after her retirement, she's still giving back to the community. I mean, she could have moved away, but she actually said something to me about this time last year. She said, what, we had thought about moving to North Carolina, but we want to stay in Salisbury and see this community thrive. We really believe it's on the edge of something. So those are the qualities that we're looking in individuals and organizations who are just so selflessly committed to this community.
I agree with her. It really is.
Yeah.
I think we're on the edge of something big.
I agree. It's exciting.
Not that we're not already great.
Right, exactly.
But there's so much potential.
There's a new energy.
There really
in
is.
this community.
Yeah, particularly I see that downtown.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What geographic area are we talking about that the nominations come from?
So for Delaware, Sussex County. For Maryland, it's Somerset, Wacomico, Worcester, and Dorchester counties. And then in Virginia, it's Accomack and Northampton counties. Any individuals or organizations in those areas can apply or be nominated for this award.
Right. So you mentioned that you do it at the commencement, and it's a great time for the students to see these remarkable individuals.
Absolutely.
What else does the university get out of it?
Really, we just enjoy being able to highlight those individuals in the community. We're a committed partner to this community. Our Town Gown Council, is an example of that. Where we get together and we talk about community issues and how to solve them. But we really enjoy being able to highlight those individuals who have, partnered with us to help make this place a better place to live as well.
And I know they're recognized. How are they recognized at that?
So. At our morning commencement ceremony, the president sort of, she has a plaque that she gives to each of the recipients, and she'll read off why we nominated them, and give an opportunity to highlight them in front of our students. It's a really great opportunity, and of course there's all kinds of press coverage that goes with that, so it's
I've
really
never
a great
been to
opportunity.
that. When I nominated Debbie, I had another event that same day, and I felt badly that I didn't
Right.
make it, but I know she was
It was
really
great.
honored.
It was great. Yeah, in front of thousands and thousands of people, to
Right.
have an honor like that.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Now, the Town Gown Council
Yes.
is comprised of, I take it, members from the city and members from the college. Is that right?
Yes, yep. So the Town Gown Council was established in 2001 by our president, Dr. Janet Dudley Eschbach, and when she took the presidency, there were a number of issues between the community and the university that had been neglected for several decades. So she took it as an opportunity to bring those constituent stakeholders in the community together to talk about issues facing the community and the university. So we have representatives from the university on there. We have representatives from the city, from the county, other organizations like the Chamber of Commerce, the Arts and Entertainment District. So it's really a forum for us to discuss different community problems and celebrate community victories as well. The past couple of years, we've been really excited to talk about some of the things downtown that we've seen, and we've been able to partner on our university gallery, Champions Way, some of those things.
The trolley.
And thank you for everything you're doing down there. As,
Oh,
a stable business, it's incredible what you've been able to do as well.
I've never even considered leaving
Yeah,
downtown.
yeah, it's
And
a
like
great
you said, I
place.
feel we're on the verge with all of the restaurants and having the galleries down there, and then it's just so neat to see the kids from the college get off
Yes.
the trolley.
Yeah, the trolley's been
And they
great.
can have sushi, or they can have Southern comfort food, or a
Exactly.
burger. I mean, there's so much
Pizza.
down there
Yep.
now. And I would say 5 years ago, if I said to a student here, "Do you know where downtown is?"
Right.
They would
They'd say no,
no.
but now they do.
Right.
It's pretty
Right.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
So is there a website for more information
Yes,
on
yeah.
the president's
So if anybody's
award?
interested in nominating an individual and organization for this award, they can go to www.salisbury.edu/community leadership. We have our nomination forms up there on the website. They can click on the link, download them, and complete them. And they'll need to either email them to my assistant, Ms. Gina Bubar, in the president's office, and her email address is gmbubar@salisbury.edu, or they can send it to me at the university, and our address is 1101 Camden Avenue, Salisbury, Maryland 21801. So those are the two ways that you can complete those forms and get them to us.
And what's the deadline?
The deadline is April 3rd.
Okay.
That's Friday, close of business day.
Thanks, Robbie.
Absolutely.
I know you're
Thank you
excited
so
to
much.
see
Yeah,
who are
yeah.
the people that will be nominated
Absolutely.
this year.
It's a great experience.
And
every
it's
year.
also a wonderful collaboration between the town itself and the
Yes.
university.
Yep.
So thank you for everything that you do to
Appreciate
make
it.
it
Thank
happen.
you. Yeah, we're trying. Thanks.
Absolutely. And now let's take a look at what's happening on the campus in March. Some of those events that we just saw are part of SU's Women's History Month celebration. Here to tell us more is Dr. Kara French. Welcome, Kara.
Thank you for having me here, Susan. I'm very excited to be here today.
I'm excited that you're here. So I understand that this year's series begins with a very prominent speaker and friend of mine, Mitzi Perdue.
Yes, it does.
On March 3rd. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Mitzi will be appearing as part of our Executive Leadership Lecture Series, which is a tradition on campus going back over 20 years. Mitzi Perdue will be talking about her own leadership strategies that she's developed as a woman, as well as those she developed in tandem with her husband, Frank, running Purdue. We're very excited to have her back. She's been a part of Women's History Month in the past, and it's great to have her to kick off our events in the month of March.
Absolutely. She's just written a book that I'm in the middle of. So I talked to her and I said, I will have it finished by the time you're speaking. She said, that'll really help. So if anybody has a chance to get her book, it's on Amazon. I'll give a little plug. Tough Man, Tender Chicken. And it really is good. Yeah. It's really good. Now, motivational speaker Neen James is the keynote speaker. And can you tell me a little bit about her background?
Neen is from Australia originally. She's a delightful speaker. I was actually just on the phone with her yesterday. She has a charming accent. And she has a lot of experience, not only with motivational speaking, but also with mentorship and executive coaching. She's written books on increasing your productivity and women's leadership. And she really focuses in her work on helping women develop their own leadership strategies. She's going to be speaking about developing your own personal brand when she comes to campus. And she's being brought by an organization called Women in Leadership, which is a student-run organization. It's about helping female students professionalize and kind of career orient themselves. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity, not just for, I think, our students, but for anyone who's interested. And although she's interested in women's leadership, I think what she's going to be talking about will be important for men as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't think about your personal brand very often, so that's an interesting concept to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, now what's my personal brand? So I might have to go hear her speak. When and where will that be?
That will be in Purdue Hall Auditorium at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, the 10th of March.
And then there's a panel discussion.
Yes.
On March 26th. What is the theme and what are some of the topics for this?
So the theme we've chosen for the panel discussion is women's history in the making, because we don't just want to highlight the incredible things that women have done in the past. We want to be aware of the issues that are kind of shaping the climate for women in the present and in the future. So one of the speakers we have coming to campus is a professor of religious studies and reproductive rights, Dr. Leslie Woodcock-Tentler. She's professor emeritus at Catholic University of America in DC, and she's going to be talking about kind of the connection between religion and reproductive rights in the wake of the recent Hobby Lobby versus the Supreme Court decision, the decision that said that private employers have the right to opt out of providing birth control to their female employees on religious grounds. So very kind of hot button, cutting edge issue there. We also have an activist named Deisha Dyer, who's a former hip hop journalist, is what she describes herself as.
Interesting.
Yes, she's also done a lot of work with HIV and AIDS activism. And she'll be talking about how her HIV/AIDS activism in particular allowed her to develop a career as a public servant in Washington, D.C. I think will be very interesting to our students who are interested in careers in public service.
So when and where will that discussion take place?
That will be in Purdue Hall Auditorium as well, 7:30 p.m. on March 26th. I also wanted to add that we have two speakers from SU who are also on that panel.
On the panel.
One is our own Umberto Aristizabal, who is our director of the Office of Institutional Equity, who's going to be talking about Title IX, the history of Title IX, which is about equality in education for both men and women, and what is being done currently to enforce it. And then we also have the president of the LGBTQ Alliance, Kiani Bailey, who is a transgender woman and is going to be speaking about what it's like to be a transgender woman at SU.
So she's a student right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
Very interesting. Yeah.
If you've seen, Transparent or Orange is the New Black, this isn't just something that happens to people on television. This is something in our own community, affecting our students.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned Leslie Woodcock-Tentler. She has a connection to one of the films that are scheduled to be shown. Is that right?
Yes. So the evening before Dr. Tentler's panel, we will be showing The Pill, which is a documentary that was produced by American Experience on PBS. It's a really great, very interesting documentary. I've seen it and shown it in my classes. And Dr. Tentler appears as one of the historians in the film that's talking about the legalization of birth control in the 60s. And she'll also be on hand that night on the 25th to answer questions along with Dr. Jim Burton from the communications department.
Where will that film be shown?
That will be shown Wednesday, March 25th at 7 p.m. in Fulton Hall, room 111.
Okay, right before the panel discussion.
Right before the panel discussion.
Got it. Any other documentaries scheduled to be shown?
Yes, on March 4th, we're showing The Life and Times of Rosie the Riveter, which is a documentary about the real-life Rosies who participated in the war effort during World War II. I think it's a fascinating film. It has lots of interviews with these women. You get to see the real-life women behind that sort of iconic cartoon.
Right.
And so it's a film I show in my classes. It's great.
Will there be a discussion to follow?
There will. I am part of that panel, and I will be joined by Dr. Victoria Pass from the art department, as well as Dr. Martin Paraboom, who is the dean of the Fulton School.
Right, good. What about LunaFest? I know that film festival came here in 2013. Don't believe we had it last year, and now it's returning.
It did come last year.
It did?
Yes, it was here last year,
Okay.
but we're excited to have it back again.
good.
That will be on Sunday, March 8th at 3 p.m. LunaFest features the work of female directors. So there's about 3 hours worth of short films. I think it's about 6 to 8 films in total. If you go to their website, you can actually watch a trailer for LunaFest, and it's specifically about promoting the work of female directors and writers. This is the only event that isn't free to the public.
Okay.
But the first 100 SU students can get in free with their ID. It's $25 for adults, $15 for students at the door. There's a $5 discount if you buy in advance.
And that's for the whole series?
That's for the whole series, the whole afternoon of films.
Great, great. Now, students have been working on exhibits for Women's History Month. Can you tell us where we can see the results?
Well, they're my students.
Okay, then you know
I'm very
exactly
proud
where.
of them. We have 2 locations. We have a small exhibit that will be going into Blackwell Library. That will start March 4th and will run through the end of March until March 31st. There's a second exhibit location, a larger exhibit, that's going to be at the NAB Center. That will start on March 23rd and will actually run through the end of the semester. So we'll start in the middle of Women's History Month, but you can actually catch it anytime between March 23rd and May 13th.
So what are the subjects of these exhibits?
Well, the students chose the subjects themselves, so it was of personal interest to them, and it's also a lot has to do with local history and features items from the NAB's collection. So at the Blackwell exhibit, we have an exhibit on civil rights activist Gloria Richardson, who was involved in Cambridge in the 1960s and led a civil rights movement there. Is both a controversial figure both within Eastern Shore history and also within the larger civil rights movement. And then at the NAB Center, we have another controversial woman, Clara Gunby, who was a Confederate sympathizer and spy during the Civil War. She was actually arrested for treason for refusing to salute the Union flag and taken off to prison. So we have her diary and some of her paintings.
Oh, gosh.
That will be on display there. And then we have 2 more thematic exhibits. They actually go in very well with our films. One is about Eastern Shore women during World War II on the home front. So we have our own Rosies here in Salisbury who worked in munitions plants. Also women who enlisted in the Red Cross, who enlisted in the military, how women grew victory gardens and participated in life on the home front. We have uniforms, lots of great artifacts from them that will be on display. And then another student has created an exhibit entitled The Secret Sexual Revolution at Salisbury University, 1950 to 1970, which is about making that transition from a very proper, sort of straight-laced formal place in the 50s to more, we might say more sexually free culture in the 60s and 70s. I think it'll be very interesting for anyone, but especially for students. Lots of material from old yearbooks, newspaper clippings, to see what life was like on campus, 60 years ago.
Where is that going to be?
That will also be at the NAB Center.
At the NAB Center. Okay, good. I don't know how you keep track of all these events. It's just an amazing amount. And I know that there is a committee
Yes.
that actually puts together the Women's History Month. Can you tell us a little bit of who's on that committee?
Sure. It really takes a village to put together Women's History
I would
Month.
think so.
We have faculty and staff from all the different schools. I especially want to give a shout out to my co-chair, Dr. Chris Egan from the Communication Arts Department. She's played a very important role in Women's History Month over the past few years. We also have students that collaborate with us, like from Women in Leadership that I've mentioned before. Dr. Pass from the Art Department is a new member. If you're watching this and you would like to get involved in Women's History Month, we're always interested in getting more representation. So please feel free to come talk to me about it.
That's good to know. I'm sure that people will be intrigued when they see the vast amount of things going on during the course of 1 month. What do you think are some of the issues that are confronting younger women today that, say, weren't issues in my generation?
I think women today have more opportunities than ever before, and that's wonderful. And it's amazing the progress that women have made, especially for career and education. At the same time, I think some of our policies have not caught up with those changes to support women in the workforce. And most families, do require 2 incomes. So, the United States is one of the only countries that doesn't offer paid maternal leave. We're behind Pakistan in that regard. So that puts working families and working moms in a very tough situation. It requires a lot of choices that need to be made. And that's not just a woman's issue, that's a family issue too. So I think, we've opened the door for women, but I think there's still progress that needs to be made for women to really be able to walk through that door.
So, when I had a baby 31 years ago, my company gave me time off. 3 months, I think. But you're saying the government should say you automatically get a certain amount of time off for maternity leave.
Your company was generous enough to do that, but there's actually no policy in place across the board for all women and all occupations that would even, not only, they have to give you your job back, they can't fire you, but they also don't guarantee that paid maternity leave like our peers in the industrialized world do.
I didn't know that other countries were far ahead of us in that regard. Women really do seem to be succeeding here at SU. What do you think it is about SU that makes that happen?
I think it's something that happens from both the top down and the bottom up. So at the top, we have
a woman president,
right, but also a provost and a vice provost, and a strong tradition of female leadership, and people like Mitzi Perdue in the community who are giving back to SU.
Right.
Then we also have stuff from the grassroots, from the bottom up. We have student organizations like Women in Leadership that are helping to professionalize young women. We have student organizations like the LGBTQ Alliance that are working to combat gender stereotypes and homophobia and promote a more equitable environment for all of our students. So I think it's really a combination of both. And I should say that, from the top down, from the president's office, there has been a lot of support for Women's History Month and recognizing diversity in this regard.
Thank you, Kara. It is amazing the number of wonderful events that we've just talked about, and I hope that our viewers will take the time to learn about them and to show up for some of them, because it seems to me there's just an awful lot that we could all learn.
Well, thank you. And again, with the exception of LunaFest, they're all free to the public. I think they're a great way to spend an evening or an afternoon.
That's a great point to make. Free, right
Free
here in our
good.
community. Absolutely. If people don't take advantage of some of these, then they're missing out. Thank you again.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank my guest, Robbie Sheehan, chair of SU's Town Gown Council, and Dr. Kara French of SU's Women's History Month Committee. I'm Susan Purnell, and this has been Salisbury University on the Air. Thank you for watching. And now, here's another look of what's happening on the campus in March.